love my music. I love my music, your music, our music, patent music, trademark music. Hello.
Well, technically, it's been trademarked by Apple. However, comma, it is for public use, so it's in the
Very
public
good.
domain. Hi,
Very good. Good
everybody.
morning. Good afternoon.
I'm Judge Vivian. Of course, my co-host is the former retired, the Honorable Judge P. Hill.
Worthy. I'm not worthy.
And I'm so excited that she's on my show. As you know, this show is to increase the people of African American descent in the legal community, as there are only 5% of us in the legal community. And I thought, what an atrocious number. Let's see what we can do to make that better. Tonight's going to be a slightly shortened show, so we're going to dive a lot quicker than we normally do within our topic. And also because we figured, hey, we're going to shorten it on you, we're going to give you a sort of similar topic. But I've been hearing a lot of questions about, they wanted more of what Will Smith could be charged with when it came down to the slap at the Oscars, or like a more of a breakdown of how the charges could work. So I said, perfect time. Let's just do a quick part two. We're only going to be on a short time tonight. So let's go ahead and hammer it out.
Kind of explained in part one, what's this? Chris Rock doesn't have the option of, I'm going to press charges or not. There are two types of laws. We don't get all bogged in, but it's a legal show as the law turns. There's civil and criminal. Civil, I'm seeking money. I'm seeking damages. I'm asking the court, the defendant, to do something or stop doing something, and usually it's money thing. Criminal, it's the state of Florida, state of versus state of California, state of whatever. So it can be a criminal or a civil case. I'll let Judge Vivian to kind of take that lead. But the idea of Chris Rock saying, I may not press charges, he doesn't have that right. That the criminal charges belong to the state of California, New York, Florida. So let's kind of get that out of the way when we're talking about what Chris Rock wants to do. He becomes a witness for you, Will, of the state. He doesn't own the lawsuit. Okay.
Exactly. Which is why when people ask, well, how can Will Smith be charged? Well, Judge Don just told you that is how. And yes, he can be charged for both criminal cases and or civil cases. Now, I'm licensed in Florida. So that means that I can tell you about the state of Florida's laws. I can't tell you exactly about California's laws and if they work the same exact way, but I can tell you that there are a lot of similarities between all 50 states. For the most part, creating an apprehension of being harmed and or touched without your personal consent, or touching someone without their personal consent, is usually a crime in all 50 states, not just in the state of Florida. Now, their names may be different. In this particular instance, in our particular state, we would call it assault. That's the apprehension one. And battery would be the one when you actually make contact with someone physically without their consent, is the best way to do it. Now, I used to tell people this thing is uber duper simple to get. It sounds like it shouldn't be. And a lot of people say, well, they had to have had some harm or some actual injury. No, you don't need that. So in this particular instance, I'm going to go to the criminal side first, guys. Then I'm going to go to what he could possibly charge in the civil aspect. So in this particular instance, he could be charged with assault. And assault is essentially, I made you apprehensive of a movement that I was going to do something to you. So if I come forward towards you and I have my fist in my hand.
Wow. I usually have my fist on my feet, but anyway, that's just me. That's just me.
And I tell you that I'm going to punch you in the face and I raise my arm. Do you think I'm going to punch you in the face? Highly likely. But did I actually hit you? Nah, because I'm going to just tell you, I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. Good. But that is assault. Why? Because I made you apprehensive. Not necessarily a fear, but apprehensive. That's something I could actually punch you in the face.
And I had the president ability to do so. If I'm coming at you and say, I'm going to shoot you, there's no gun in my hand. There's a lot of elements. And like Judge Vivian said, regardless of the state you're in, every crime has elements, things like ingredients. You can't make a cake without flour or sugar. Some cakes have chocolate, some cakes have vanilla, but the basic framework is the same. So that's what she was referring to. That the states may be a little different, but we're talking about the general crimes of assault and battery.
Yes. So then battery is similar incident. I come towards you. I say I'm going to punch you, and then as Will did, bam! I hit you right in the. I just want to say that Chris Rock took that hit like a champ. Old boy took that hit. He was like, he didn't go down. He didn't. Okay, because Will drew back like he was going to Evander Holyfield, or Muhammad Ali him, but he stayed on his feet. He didn't Rocky him. He didn't knock him out. So, but he still actually made contact with him. Thereby, battery could also be charged. That means I actually made the contact with your person, the punch, the slap, the kick. It was an open hand slap, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's one of the things that he could possibly charge with. People was like, well, what's the difference? Why can't he be charged with both? Well, one is apprehension. The other is I actually touched you. Now I'm going to tell you, people get this a little confused. This did not happen in this particular instance. But if Chris Rock would have hit him back, a defense attorney could have had an argument for self-defense. We ain't going down that road because that didn't happen. Also, because we ain't getting down that road and nobody got time for that. But that's what he could have been charged with in the criminal aspect. That's one of the many things. Then there are two of them, the big ones. I'm going to call those the big guns. Then two, what could he have been charged with in the civil aspect? Now, as Judge Fields mentioned before, civil is more so about money and your feelings, not so much about breaking like hardcore laws. And in this particular instance, guess what? And I know people should, I feel like people should know this one. Intentional infliction of emotional distress.
It sounds like just what it says. It's a long word, but intentional infliction of emotional distress. It sounds like all legal stuff, but kind of the common sense thing is exactly what you think. I intended to cause you some distress, not a little distress, distress. I mean, distress is not like, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Distress is actionable. Distress is, I'm losing time, energy, sleep, respect, everything. Not just, well, you hurt my feelings. No.
Cardi B recently defended this pretty well because she talks about wanting to do harm to herself, feeling less than, not being able to perform as a wife. These are all things that kind of happen when we start bringing in intentional infliction of emotional distress. So that is one of the civil things that he could have been charged with. Now, when that happens, people are generally like, oh, what do you mean he was emotionally distressed? Well, think about it. You on a national television.
All dressed up.
Millions, not hundreds, not 5, not 15, not you on with millions of people watching you around the world, not just in the United States of America. And somebody walked up to you and smacked you. That could be a little harmful to the spirit,
And don't forget the gender aspect of it. The law takes in, not the law takes into account. Juries take into account all of that. I'm a big, strong man, 5'10", 6 foot, whatever. And Will Smith, big, strong adult man, like slaps me, sissy slaps me, and I kind of stand there and do nothing. That's emotional distress. It's not like two little kids or kittens play fighting. I'm a big, strong man on a stage, and I've been slapped by another man, and I do nothing. Wow, that's emotional distress. I love the questions from J. Esquire, GK.
We have an attorney on right now, and she's going in with us. Thank you, Jaquila Rivers from Rivers Law. Yes, she is correct. Will and Jada could countersue for some similar issues. One of them could be the infliction of emotional distress because she has alopecia. The conversation about her being bald could have been inflicted such great stress on her in front of these millions of people. So yes, that could be a countersuit. We're going to come back to that because I'm going to add on 2 more things that could have possibly come down on Chris Rock's side of this. So the other could be negligent infliction of emotional distress. Now, it doesn't rise to the same level as intentional infliction. It literally means, as Judge Dawn said, what it says. Negligent, as in your reckless behavior caused this distress. Your reckless
conduct.
That works.
That's it.
And so that's another thing. The other thing that I mentioned, because someone asked, well, what did you mean when you said there could be some employment laws here? I'm going to tell you. Will Smith could not be the only person at fault here. The recording artists, the Academy, which we're going to call it right now, which is the Oscars, the entity in and of itself, could be responsible for 2 big reasons. How are the people that are presenters considered in their organization? Are they employers? Are they independent contractors? And if that's the case, then did they have a duty to protect Chris Rock? On multiple phases, when he initially stormed the stage, could someone have said, hey, stop? Why did no one help? Where were the bodyguards? Where
you're at Publix and the Publix clerk snatches something out of your hand or does something physical to hurt you, he or she is doing that as an employee of Publix. He or she is an individual in their own right, but in that situation, Publix may be liable as an employer because you hired this person that created some harm. Now it's a whole lot. I understand this. We're giving you a smidget, a 30-second soundbite. This thing is intensive and pages and pages and pages of documents and doctor slips and neighbors' opinions and expert opinions about the stress. We're just giving you like a 30-second window of what the potential lawsuits and criminal charges may be.
Exactly. And the lawyer in me would love to be in this set. On either side. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Yes.
But yes, it's a lot more things. Attorney Rivers did add another one, intended public humiliation. Once again, as it sounds, you humiliated me in public, bro. We're supposed to be saying eye to eye. You could have talked to me. We ain't got each other's phone number. Hey. So it's a lot that can be hemmed up in this. But those are the big ones, as I'm calling them, the ones that are going to be a little more major. Now, as Attorney Rivers said, there can be some things called countersuits. That means that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith can also sue for some things that may have happened. And any attorney, worth their grain of salt, such as myself, will be throwing it all out there. Hey, let's see what we can get. Let's throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
See what sticks.
But definitely, there are going to be some changes to the Oscars. I suppose I agree with Attorney Rivers here. Moving forth, I'm sure they'll probably start putting security around that stage. People are going to have to get banded down.
I agree with the concept of security around the stage. I'm not interested in the Oscars. I'm not a star person. I don't care about their lives. That's why I don't do Facebook. Anyway, I have my own stuff. Anyway, I do know Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. And in the year that we've been doing this program, 90% of the time I have to look up the stars and the famous singers that Judge Vivian talks about because I'm saying who, Cardi who, and I got to make her hips. When she says it on the show, and I said, yeah, Cardi C. Oh, is it D or is it B? Anyway, okay. So that being said, I was presumed there's a lot of security. There's stars, $1 million baby stars. There's security everywhere. And security is standing there saying, what? It's a crime that happened on the stage. What are we confused about? Why are we sitting there saying, did he just, let me see what the Academy wants to do. I'm a security officer. Security. I'm here to protect life and limb and property. I just witnessed the crime and did nothing. No one stormed the stage. At least had to be one security officer there, probably 50 security officers there, probably won every row, and they did nothing. So the increase in security doesn't impress me. The fact that we are starstruck with people and see a crime and do nothing just flabbergasts me. Just we did nothing.
I think people were really just shocked. I think people thought maybe in the beginning, because they know each other, they know both men are comedians, they know both men are actors. I think part of them thought maybe this was a skit. I don't think people really knew that this was really what was going down. Also, I want to throw out that Will Smith was never ejected. Another thing that could go down in, it could be pause for conversation when it comes down to an argument for this to happen. So we gave you guys a lot more legalese tonight than we normally do. The reason why is because people were asking this question. So I said, well, let's go ahead and answer it on the show while we still got some time on this and while this thing is still unfolding. We may bring this back up, but you know, I still got some other ones that we got to bring back up, guys, because it's some follow-ups. I'm excited. Some Cardi B stuff, some Meg Thee Stallion rehashes. I'm very, very excited for you guys joining us tonight. And thank you.
Thank you to the lawyers
for being here with us tonight. Thank you, Attorney Rivers, for your consistent comments.
Thank you so much.
And we're so glad to have you guys. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Don't forget to leave us a comment on our Facebook page. If you have any questions, send us a DM. If you got any things you want us to talk about, any current events that you think are awesome. We will be having another attorney on this month. I am very, very excited. I am so thankful to have you guys on our show and grateful that you guys are with us tonight.
Thanks for tuning in.
So,
next Thursday, please come back.
We always here. We don't fail you.
Every Thursday.
Don't forget to read the banner at the bottom. This was not legal advice. We are not your attorneys. This does not create a legal client privilege.
Our Attorney Rivers was not your attorney either. Thank you. Good night. Thank you so much for joining in.